Hello all and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to give you my opinion of watching the first 30 days of the WNBA. I never watched it before. I knew a little bit about it, but as we all know, Caitlin Clark coming into the WNBA, there's so many eyeballs on her, especially with Angel Reese. All these girls are coming to the WNBA. So I wanted to give you guys my honest opinion and give you all the information that I learned about the WNBA. And let me tell you something, it's really fascinating and interesting. So you really want to hear my key takeaways. But before I get there, guys, please hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and with your help, I will certainly get there. Now, let me start taking a look at my notes. So the first thing that I noticed with the WNBA, which was, this is where a lot of people have a lot of problems with the players, is the salary. Okay, first of all, the average WNBA salary is $130,000 a year, and the currently highest paid WNBA player is Jackie Young, and she plays for the Los Angeles Aces, who just recently won the championship. And she now makes $252,000 per year. Now, a lot of people might look at that and might say, well, that's not as near as much as what the men make. But yeah, remember too, at the same time, the men's revenue is a lot larger than the WNBA. So the average being 130 is obviously on the low side, especially when it comes to professional sports. But the league overall, now we'll get down to it later on about how much money they make. This is the reason why they get paid what they get paid. Now the average is 130,000, but what is the bottom? Someone like Caitlin Clark, which, I mean, obviously, if you don't know who she is by now, then I don't have to tell you. She is making $76,000 a year. Now, if you want to compare that to the men's side, Victor Wembanyama makes $12.16 million in his first year as well. So the rookie contract for the first year obviously is a whole lot more when it comes to men and women. $76,000, I was really surprised it was that low. I really thought it would be a whole lot more than $76,000, but that is the number. And to also put things in perspective, for the household median income in Indiana, it is $67,000. So she's just a little above the household median for the residents in Indiana. But in the same time, guys, $76,000 seems very small for her. But as we all know, she's having some crazy sneaker deals. Okay, she just recently about to sign a deal with Nike, $28 million deals, and she has all these other endorsements, and she made millions already in college. But the WNBA is just in this growing stage, and right now is gonna blow up. And eventually, with all these people watching the sport, they will get the effect of a Caitlin Clark, and it will rise up everyone's salary. Now, the next thing I found out was just a little nuggets, things I just wanted to know was when it was founded. It was founded in 1996, and I cannot believe it was 1996. I really thought it would be somewhere in 2006, 2007, but no, it was founded in 1996. Another interesting thing about the WNBA is this. It does have affiliation with the NBA, and the NBA has been funding it so much, but it also owns 50% of the WNBA. So that means the other teams, other 12 teams, they just get 50% of what's left. So now you're seeing why the starting salaries are not that high, because the WNBA has a big amount of ownership in the WNBA. Also, with that being said, there is only 12 teams in the WNBA. Okay, there's not that many teams. There's 2 conferences, East and West, just like the NBA, and there's 6 in each. And the average fan per game, which I was surprised with this, the average amount of fans that watch this game is 380,000 per game. That's quite a lot, and especially when you put TV on, right? You hardly see any of these WNBA games. Sometimes they're on ESPN and it's kind of buried, but as I said, the Caitlin Clark effect was huge, especially for college basketball. So now there's gonna be a lot more people watching. Also, another interesting nugget I learned about the WNBA is 44% of the WNBA is watched by women. And you would think, because I am, and I was completely wrong by this, I thought more women supported the men's side, right? I thought there would be a lot more women watching the men more than the WNBA, and it's not true. In the WNBA, it's 40%. Quite surprised by that 60% of it is men and 40% is only women. Now, the next key takeaway that I got from this, and if you're watching this game, I mean, it's obvious. It's like glaringly obvious. They are extremely physical. The WNBA game is extremely physical. I mean, It feels like the 90s NBA. I mean, it is extremely physical. The way they push each other, the way they give elbows, they're always on the ground. It's just a very physical sport. And that's why a lot of people now that are watching the game, a lot of people are complaining a lot about how Caitlin Clark is being treated. There was some things that happened to her that wasn't a basketball play, but a lot of the things that's happened to her has been going on for years, okay? There's a video going on right now on the internet about Candace Parker going through the same type of treatment. So this is just the way the game is. It's going to be extremely physical. And if you watch it, guys, you will see it right away. And I'm quite surprised by it. Now let's get to the nitty gritty, this is the part that I love the most, because I love about finance. I love to know everything about how this league is constructed. So let's break down the WNBA and how they make a profit, and if they make any type of profits. So in 2023, the WNBA made $200 million in revenue. It's quite a bit of money, right? But you gotta remember, 50% of that goes to the NBA because they have a stake in it. And then the other 50% is split amongst the teams, and that's why they get the salaries and everything else. So overall, they're not that profitable. And that is why the average salary is so low, okay? I mean, every team has like 10 to 12 players, and there's 12 teams. So right then, you're thinking there's like 120, 130 players in the league. There's not that many players in the league, and they have to split this pie between them all. So it is very, very difficult. You gotta remember as well, guys, it's not only all that money that's left is not just to pay the players. You gotta pay for the facilities, you gotta pay for the uniforms, you gotta pay for the travel. There's a bunch of stuff that needs to get paid as well. But the good thing about this is what the NBA does is the NBA provides an annual endowment of $15 million. So off the bat, they're always giving the WNBA $15 million. And that money is strictly to cover travel, facilities, marketing, and administration. So that's a pretty neat thing that NBA does to try to boost, the viewership of the WNBA. I mean, of course, now they actually have them participating in like the All-Star Weekend and things like that to gain some exposure, and a lot of players as well. LeBron James, Booker, all these players are actually going to the games and they're supporting them, which is really, really helping out the league. Now, this is where things get extremely wild. Now, I can't even believe this. So in the NBA, right, and now in the WNBA, they have something that's called revenue sharing, which means whatever amount of revenue is left, every year they always fight for this. They fight to get 50-50 or 49-51. It's a big fight because we're talking about billions of dollars and how much money of the revenue goes to the players and how much revenue goes to the owners. In the WNBA, the players only get 9.9% of the revenue. The rest goes to the NBA and also to the WNBA, to the owners, and all of them trying to run the league. That's it. That is very, very small. And that is compared to the NBA that gets 51%. But things will change. I already know things are going to change because everyone's watching the WNBA right now. And now they're about to start making so much money that they'll be able to share the revenue. But unfortunately, they're hardly able to share the revenue because revenue is not that big. Now, the good news is this. Now that everyone is starting to watch the WNBA, they currently have, with ESPN, a $35 million per season TV deal. And that ends in 2025. And you already know that new deal that they're going to get with whatever broadcaster is going to be a whole lot more. So when that comes along, that's going to be a huge source of revenue for the WNBA. And also, which surprises me as well, I didn't know they had a league pass. I had no idea that a league pass. And the league pass is $34.99. I couldn't find online where they stated how many subscribers are actually paying for this service. But I mean, I can imagine with Caitlin Clark being around, a lot of people are probably getting this to watch her games, even though it's nationally broadcasted, but everyone's going all in on the WNBA. So guys, that was a key takeaway that I got from the WNBA. I was very surprised about watching this, and I never really watched it as much as I did in the past. Sometimes, like I said, sparingly, but I dedicated 30 days of this to see exactly how the league is going to go, especially with having a new superstar that's going to help the league get to a point where they're going to make a whole lot more money. What do you guys think? How do you project the WNBA is going to be in the future?